Hi folks, my name is Teddy. I'm a graduating senior from the class of 2020, and I majored in neurobiology and religious studies. I'm also a violence prevention peer educator here with University Health Services Violence Prevention. And what that means is that I'm someone who helps facilitate discussions between incoming students on subjects like intimate partner violence and healthy relationships, healthy sexuality and sexual violence, bystander intervention, and supporting survivors. And we have conversations like this as a university in part because we really want all students to have a really equitable knowledge base when they go into space all together. We want everyone to kind of be on the same field of knowledge. And also because we know this is an environment that a lot of students will be new to, there's a lot of people our age, and there's also a lot of alcohol culture on campus, and we want to make sure that everyone is practicing safe things when they're in that environment. So I think it can be really important for students to have these conversations with us as a university and to have those facilitated conversations. And it's also so important for them to continue that conversation with their friends and even with their families. And we know that that's where your support is so helpful, especially through this transition period. I remember when I was a freshman, my roommate's parents gave us little cans of pepper spray. And I really think that this was kind of a piece of advice and also a little piece of kind of extending a hand towards letting us know that they supported us as people on campus and that they wanted to be there for potential experiences of violence that we had. I also really wish that I'd had more explicit conversations with adults in my life about the violence that can happen when people are out on their own in kind of the college environment especially. I do remember that I felt very lucky when my parents were supporting me in high school. I had a very close friend who was a survivor of sexual violence, and my parents actually created an environment where that person felt comfortable coming forward and talking to them about it. And that was really helpful for me to see because it let me know before I even came to the college environment that my parents were supporters of me, they were supporters of survivors, and that I could talk to and trust them in situations like that. And I think kind of saying that explicitly to your students can be such an important indicator to let them know that you'll be there for them no matter what, even if that's such an implicit experience. Just going ahead and saying that can really create that security. I think it's also really important to say these things explicitly because in a world where we usually tell our students, hey, make sure you're walking home with a friend at night, it starts to put the responsibility of sexual violence onto survivors, onto the people who are trying to avoid the violence, rather than saying to those people, hey, this wasn't your fault, because we know that it's not their fault, and that violence is perpetuated by people, not a result of what someone has done in the world. So we want to really make sure that we're having those conversations, and we really appreciate you supporting your students and having those conversations with them as they're coming out here and helping them make that transition into kind of a new life stage. We really know that those having those communications can set the stage for success, for healthy relationships and healthy sexuality as they come into campus, and we're so excited to have you here with us.